Hi, I'm Sal. Welcome to Finer with Age. This is the video version of Coro Design Patterns, and I'd like to go through it. It's a guide to help you find pieces, and I'm going to show the guide over here as I go through them. So Series 1 is Coro, which could lead some to believe there might be future series. These are from the 1930s through approximately the mid-50s. I did find design patents after that time, and I included those as well. That's when copyrights took over. So the design patents phased out. Let's talk about 3 facts first. There are over 2,400 design patents in this series. It was an enormous undertaking, and I've created all the videos in split screen. And on the left of the screen in the videos, you will see an enlarged image to help you discover if that's a piece that you might have. And on the right side will be the entire first page of the design patent. And that way you can take a screenshot and you'll have the filed date when they submitted it, the granted date when the patent was awarded, and the design patent number along with the imaging that was submitted. Not all Coro jewelry designs were patented, so that's important to know. So let me read the 3rd fact, and then I'll tell you my thought. Coro jewelry with the copyright symbol won't be here. Those would be under copyrights, which are much more difficult to obtain. Back to this. The 2nd fact, not all Coro jewelry designs were patented. So I have several pieces of Coro, and I have many that don't have the copyright symbol, yet they're not in this video series. They simply did not patent all the jewelry designs. But we've got over 2,400 to look at. And if you're just here to look, there's a lot of great eye candy, some amazing designs by amazing designers. And at the end of this, I will also acknowledge those designers. I'd like to take this time to clear up that Adolf Katz was the facilitator of many of the patents. That does not mean he designed all those patents. Okay, so let's start. Episode 0, I call it, is this guide. And I think it's important so that you understand why I created it. I created it because if you have an older piece of Coro, you may not find it in a Google Lens search or on Pinterest by searching keywords or an eBay search. And it's helpful and it's pretty fun to find a patent for a piece that you own and see the image and know what the design patent number is and know what year it was designed. So we'll go down each of the episodes. I am working from the USPTO's scanned black and white images. I don't have all these pieces. I can't hold them in my hand and really know what I'm looking at. I've done my very best from my knowledge, and so I ask for a little grace. Let's start with the first episode, which is dress and fur clips. They're basically one and the same. A lot of the design patents for this simply said a pin clip. They are all in one episode. There are no exceptions. The next one is separable and duet. On the design patents, they're known as separables. And I've divided them into 2 episodes. And the first one is figural, which is animal and human. And then the second episode under that category is all others. If you're looking for a brooch or a pin, I put in here in order of priority given, and that is important. So the first thing you do, if you have a brooch that you're searching for, say you own it, you want to have it with you in front of you. Again, you're looking at black and white drawings. And I found the easiest thing to do is, if you can, try to eliminate the color in your mind when you're looking at your brooch and then the video series of brooches. It's not going to look the same. You want to look at the outer edges and get a fixed image in your mind by looking, say, at a flower. What's the most prominent outer edge? Maybe the leaves. So look at how many leaves there are. So when you're looking at the video series and the first one comes up, you can say, okay, that is not my piece. That will be very helpful. The first one, I put geometrical. They were from 1938, and monogram from 1937, 1940, and 1948 together. They're going to be some of the older pieces, obviously the 37, 38, and 40. This was a trial and error to see how this would work and to find out what would be best. And so a lot of thought and time was put into this. The next episode under brooches is chatelaine and chains. It made the most sense to combine these. And on this one, I have an exception. You can take a look at that. I would suggest taking a screenshot of both pages of the guide that has all the episodes listed. It will be helpful to you. The reason you want to go through, if you have a brooch, through each category is because, again, they're given in order of priority. So you want to find the first subcategory under that main category of brooches that fits with the piece you may be looking for, if that's why you're here. If you're here just for the eye candy, that's wonderful, and you can watch all the episodes and enjoy them. If you're looking for a particular piece, you want to go through each one and ask yourself, for example, the third one is lockets. Is mine a locket? If it's not, move on. Animal and figural. If the piece features an animal of any kind, anywhere in the design, it's in the categories, and it's 3 episodes of animal and figurals. The first one is feathered only. Birds, owls, peacocks, chickens, you get the idea. The second episode under animal and figural are spiders, insects, bugs only. So bugs, butterfly will be in the second episode of animal figurals. The final animal figural category will include all others. Following that will be human and human form figurals. What do I mean by human form? It may not look like a person, but you can tell it's of human form. And those are all in one episode. The next episode is Miscellaneous Figural Set A. Includes, and I list everything it includes. And I state it may have a dangle, drop, or a chain. The next one is Miscellaneous Figural Set B. And I list all the things that you're most likely going to find underneath that. Following that is dangles, drops, and tassels. So, my note may have a dangle, drop, or chain in Miscellaneous Figural Set A is a priority to brooches with dangles, drops, and tassels. And I put exception, brooch categories above. And chatelaine and chains take priority. And they are also listed above. So that's why you want to, if you're holding a piece and you want to see and get a snapshot of the patent and have that information, you want to go through everything under brooches in order and find out which category fits your item. The next one is bow. So the bow is the primary feature. It may have an incidental flower, but if you were wearing it, somebody would say, that's a beautiful bow. They wouldn't say that's a beautiful flower. The bow is the main primary feature. Following that is flowers in containers or a vessel. So a vase, a wheelbarrow, a basket. Then flowers with one distinct flower. It will be very noticeable. There's one distinct flower. The next one will have two distinct flowers. Following that will be multiple, so 3 or more distinct flowers. There's really nothing else going on in the brooch except those flowers. Everything else would be incidental. The next category is botanical sprays, clusters, and blooms. Some were indistinguishable, very hard to tell what was happening. So this was a catch-all for botanical flowers, things that were more in a grouping, a spray, a cluster, a bloom. The next episode is leaf or tree. It's the primary feature. Anything else with it is incidental. Following that is shapes, set A. These are things that don't fit in the categories above this episode, and they are round, wreath or wreath-like, star, starburst, sun, pinwheel, or an oval. Shapes, set B, are square, fan-like. You know, it fans out. Half round, knot, it looks like a knot, or rectangle. And again, they don't fit in the categories that preceded them. And the final episode under brooches is abstract. Really couldn't categorize them. They were difficult to categorize. Some of them may feature like what I call a cross through or crossover feature. And each episode will have a thumbnail that depicts examples of what is in that episode. It'll be more self-explanatory as the episodes are released. I can't promise they'll be released in the exact order that is on my sheet, but what I will promise is, for example, both episodes of Separable Duet will be released at the same time, or all the clip-on earring episodes will be released. And there's more clip-ons than there are screwbacks. So that takes me to the second page of this. I make a note at the bottom with a double asterisk. A dangle or drop is something that has articulation. Everything else is static. I combined rings and watches because there's few of both. Necklaces is quite a cumbersome category as well. And the first is identical repeat link. Same link repeated. The second is identical repeat link, but a fancy design. The one prior is a pretty basic link design. Again, there were a lot of necklaces. The third is necklaces pendant-like. Has one single feature in the center. It looks more like a large pendant than anything else, and it can just be a pendant. The fourth is dangle drop. So the dangle drop could just be a single dangle, or it could be somewhat of a repeat pattern. They're all in that episode. The fifth episode under necklaces is one section suspended center focal. You'll understand when you see the pictures of it. And I give examples. The next one is 3, 5, 7, and 11 section suspended center focal. And it's basically, it will show the piece and it will show that the center is hung with a connector, and then that would just be one section. But if it has more, then it's counting the center as one and say it has 3 that are connected, that's with connectors. So they're separate sections. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's how I broke those down. And the final one is miscellaneous. Again, a little bit of a catch-all. Couldn't categorize these for every single brooch or every single necklace to fit perfectly in categories, or I'd have 300 videos, which doesn't make sense. So this could be alternating repeat links in the miscellaneous, something with a center bow, miscellaneous swag. So it's a catch-all. Under bracelets, center focal, and that will be explained. Identical link repeat. Same link, repeated. Now the design could be flipped. It's the same link, but they've turned it. So they're staggered, but it's the same identical link. The third episode under bracelets includes clamper, bypass, charm, dangle, side hinged, cuff, and bangle. It made the most sense to group all those together. And the last bracelet episode is again a little bit of a catch-all, miscellaneous, alternating repeat links, wide slinky, there are only a few, and a 3-strand. Following that are stones, findings, beads, and closures. Just some miscellaneous design patterns that they did for a single stone or a finding. And then I included all the construction and utility patterns. Utility patterns are different than design patterns. This is how something was constructed. They're pretty interesting, actually. And then my final episode will be me sharing the brooch I have that started this entire project. I wanted to know when it was made. I couldn't find another one anywhere. And I had searched on and off for over 2 years. I hope you enjoyed this series. I hope that if you're looking to find the patent on a piece you own, that this proves very helpful. And if you're just looking to enjoy the beautiful designs from Coro, and that includes Coro Craft and Vendome, you should be able to find those if they patented them. Remember, there are Coro designs that weren't patented. So I wish you the very best. And please comment and let me know if you found a patent for a piece that you own, and share your experience with me. I'd really appreciate it. Again, I'm Sal, and this is Finer with Age. Take care.